Hello, the 299th day of the heroic resistance of the Ukrainian people to a Russian military large-scale invasion continues. The enemy continues to focus its efforts on conducting offensive actions in the Bakhmut and Avdiivka directions. It is trying to restore the lost position on Lyman and conducts defense in other directions. Over the past day, units of the defense forces of Ukraine repelled the attacks of the occupiers in the areas of the settlements of Stomakivka, Chervenopopivka, and Serebryansk of the Luhansk Oblast, and Verkhnyo-Kamiansk, Pidhorodin, Bakhmut, Opytny, Kurdyamivka, Krasnohorivka, and Mariinka of the Donetsk Oblast. During the day, the enemy carried out 4 missile and 60 airstrikes, and also carried out more than 80 MLRS attacks. As a result of these strikes, civilian infrastructure and the population were affected. The threat of enemy air and missile strikes on critical infrastructure remains throughout Ukraine. In the Volyn and Polisia directions, the situation remains without significant changes. No signs of the formation of offensive groups of occupiers have been detected. Certain units of the armed forces of the Republic of Belarus and the Russian Federation continue to be located in the border areas with Ukraine. On the Siversky direction, the settlements of Tymanovikai, Karpovichi, and Kostobobrov of Chernihiv Oblast and Novovasilivka, Kindrativka, Vodolagi, Zaporizhzhia, and Yzdetsk in Sumy Oblast were hit by mortar attacks. In the Slobozhansk direction, the enemy carried out mortar and artillery attacks on the positions of our troops in the areas of the settlements of Stryleka, Plybok, Staritsa, Vovchansk, Volokivka, Chuhunivka, and Dvorikna of the Kharkiv Oblast. On the Kupiansk and Lyman directions, the enemy fired tanks, mortars, barrel and jet artillery on the areas of the settlements of Kotlyarivka, Krokmalm, Berestov in the Kharkiv Oblast and Novoselivsk, Stelmakivka, Makiivka, Ploshchenka, Chervonpopivka, and Dybrova in the Luhansk Oblast. In the Bakhmut and Avdiivka directions, the enemy continues to conduct assaults, fire tanks, mortars and rocket artillery at our positions in the areas of 30 settlements. In particular, these are Verkhnyo-Kamiansk, Berestov, Yakovlivka, Soldar, Kryharivka, Bakhmutsk, Bakhmut, Chasivyar, Klishchivka, Andrivka, Kurdyamivka, Avdiivka, Krasnohorivka, Mariinka, and Novomykhailivka of the Donetsk Oblast. In the Zaporizhzhia and Kherson directions, the enemy continues artillery shelling of the positions of our troops and civilian infrastructure along the right bank of the Dnipro River. The areas of Timirivka, Chervon, Mali-Sherbeki, and Plavny settlements in the Zaporizhzhia Oblast and Kornobayivka, Antonivka, Kherson, Mykolsk, Tokarivka, and Mylov in the Kherson Oblast were affected. The enemy continues to suffer losses. It was confirmed that the enemy's permanent deployment point was hit on December 18th of this year in the area of Chaplinka, Kherson Oblast. Information about the dead and wounded occupiers is being clarified. The Ukrainian aviation made 16 strikes on the areas of concentration of personnel, weapons and military equipment, and 6 strikes on the positions of the enemy's anti-aircraft missile systems. Air defense forces shot down 2 enemy helicopters last day. Units of the missile troops and artillery of the defense forces of Ukraine hit the ammunition depot, 3 control points, and 3 areas where the enemy's manpower was concentrated. I support the armed forces. Together we will win. Glory to Ukraine. Let's keep in touch.